welcome to our fan forum. Thank y'all for being here. My name is Mick Mixon with the Carolina Panthers radio and television networks, and if we stood here all practice, we would not be able to adequately thank you for the investment that you make in our team. Our distinguished guest, the High Commissioner, will take a few questions from you, and when that portion of the program comes, just raise your hand if you have a question, and then we'll get a microphone right out to you. Now, for a variety of reasons, the last several years have been very challenging for the owner of the Carolina Panthers, Mr. Jerry Richardson, but he has fought an amazing fight. He's used his business acumen, his tenacity, and his unique ability to communicate to not only help ensure labor peace for pro football, but also to pursue the ultimate goal, which is to bring absolute victory and a championship trophy to the two Carolinas. So ladies and gentlemen, keep it rolling for one of the most respected owners in professional sports, Mr. Jerry Richardson.
Symbolisms about today. I've been reading in the paper all day this week about this might be one of the hottest days of the year. When our commissioner was elected commissioner, this is something I suspect you don't know. In professional sports, generally when you select a commissioner, it takes a long time. By that I mean, when Pete Rozelle was elected, it took many, many votes over a period of time. Paul Tagliabue was elected, it took a long time. Baseball and the NBA, baseball took years to do this. In the case of Commissioner Goodell, we assembled in Chicago on a Monday, as I recall, and we had 5 finalists to speak to all the owners. And we started with a list of about 120 people and eliminated that down to 15, down to 10, down to 5. And about 1:30 or 2 following lunch, we assembled to take the votes. And by that evening, Commissioner Goodell had been selected as Commissioner of the National Football League, which is unprecedented. And it's a testimony to his personality, his drive, which I got to see firsthand over the last 2 years. He has a great ability to be in a position of authority and commands the respect that you would expect a commissioner to have, but he does not in any way, shape, or form trying to push his points of view on the other owners, and that's unusual for a commissioner. And it's my pleasure now to introduce you to my commissioner, Roger Goodell.
Thank you. What Mr. Richardson fails to tell you is that he was chairman of that committee. And that's why we got the vote so fast, because he gets things done. And I think it's only fitting for me maybe to start on that point. In the NFL, we always give our toughest jobs to Jerry Richardson because he is that kind of individual. He welcomes them. He recognizes that what's best for the NFL is best for the Carolina Panthers and this community. And he's worked tirelessly to address so many league-wide issues, whether it's getting stadiums built around the country, whether it's getting a commissioner selected, or whether it's our new labor agreement. Jerry Richardson has always put himself out there to take those tough jobs and get it done in a way that reflects well on the NFL and this franchise. And he believes in something Dan Rooney, I think, taught both of us, the owner of the Pittsburgh Steelers, is that what's good for the league is good for every franchise. And without that kind of attitude and that selflessness he demonstrates every day, it wouldn't be good for this community and this franchise. And we like to believe in the NFL, we're the one league that's unique because every team starts off the season with an opportunity to win the Super Bowl. And that is because of our system. That is because of the clubs that make the decisions to make sure that we have a competitive league, that everybody has the ability to win. And having a new collective bargaining agreement with a new revenue sharing system has continued to have that ability for each team to compete. And we owe Jerry Richardson a great deal of gratitude. He has all of the respect within the membership, and we thank him. So Jerry, thank you. Let me take a minute because we really want to thank you all as fans. We know it's been a trying off season, but we are grateful for your support, and we believe that what we've been able to accomplish this off season with a 10-year collective bargaining agreement will allow us to ensure great football for you. We believe that we protected the game of football this off season, that we're going to make it better for you as fans, for the people who play the game and are involved with the game. And that was our intent when we got into this. And while we wish it hadn't been as long, while we wish it hadn't been as difficult, sometimes things like this are difficult. But that's what's made the NFL great. We don't wait for a crisis. We fix our issues as quickly as possible, make good decisions, and hopefully protect the game of football. And the integrity of the game is my number one responsibility. And I think we've got several things out of this labor agreement which are going to protect the game. The first is the health and safety of the people who play it. We made significant changes to how we prepare our players, how we treat our players throughout the preseason, the regular season, and the off season. And that will be good for those players. It will be good for the game of football long term. Our retired players, we continue to work to try to address the issues facing our retired players. Nearly $1 billion of improvements came in this collective bargaining agreement for our retired players. Not many industries go back and make those kind of improvements to benefits for people who are no longer part of the game or part of the industry. But it's important for us to do that and show the respect for the people who helped us build this great game. Third is a lot of system issues. Making sure that we have a rookie system, as an example, that rewards players for being drafted high in the NFL or being drafted in general, but making sure that the money goes to proven veterans on the field. And we have a new rookie system that I think will benefit not only this draft class, but several draft classes ahead. But those men who are successful on the field will hopefully continue to benefit from the system, and we'll have more money available to them later after they've proven themselves successful on this field. So I think we've done an extraordinary job of getting a system here that's going to be good for the game of football. And as painful as that was, and I apologize to every one of the fans for having to live through that. I see you with the blue hair over there. Yeah. We are just grateful for your support, and to get this done without missing a single weekend, including preseason of football, is an accomplishment that we're very proud of. And it's most important we're able to do that for you, the fans. I also believe it's going to be good for the game long term. So we thank you for your patience, and we hope we're going to have an exciting season. It certainly has been a great start. The excitement to getting back to football, to getting into a free agency period that has been active, to say the least. It's been good for the game, and it's been good for players and coaches. And while I think it's going to be great for fans because of the excitement that's being created. So we look forward to a great season, and I'll be happy to take your questions. Yes. I'll come right back.
Hi, Mr. Goodell. My name is Larry Prince, and I just want to thank you, first of all, for attending our camp today. And I want to thank Mr. Richardson for continuing to allow the training camp to be held here in Spartanburg. As a longtime resident, I can't begin to tell you how much camp means to me and the surrounding communities here. My question for you is, what other markets do you see the NFL becoming involved in? Would, for example, Canada or Mexico be options for the NFL in the future? Thank you.
Well, it's a good question. Thank you for your nice comments. I think one of the things that again makes us unique is the relationship we have with our communities. And whether it's training camp or where we play our games, being a part of that community and representing that community is a big part of what we're all about. As far as markets are concerned, we have been very open that we would like to be back in the Los Angeles market, that it's a market where we know we have millions of NFL fans. We are working towards getting a stadium built there, and hopefully someday we'll be able to get a team back there. In addition to that, one of our great opportunities for growth, and where I think this new 10-year agreement is going to give us the ability to look way down the road, is actually international opportunities. We continue to have regular season games in Canada, in Toronto in particular, in London. And I believe that it's not unrealistic to think that we'll have a franchise in London someday. We have the Buffalo Bills playing a portion of their season up in Toronto, and that's been a great thing to regionalize that team and make it successful in Western New York. But I think if we can continue to expand our international series of regular season games and we get the response that we've had from our fans internationally, that having a franchise in London is not unrealistic in the next 10 years. Someone over here, I'm sorry. This young man. How what? Okay, did I get it right? How difficult is it to run a league? That's a very good question. Over the last 6 months, I tell you, it's very difficult. You know, it's first a privilege, and I was a young man just about your age probably when I first started to love the game of football, and it was in my high school years that I started to realize that I loved Pete Rozelle, who was then the commissioner of the NFL, and it was something that I just admired the way he did his job and how important I thought it was. And interesting enough, that's something I wanted to do, is work for Pete Rozelle, and ended up having that come true. It does have its complexities. You're dealing with 32 different clubs. You're dealing with players that have a different view. You have coaches that have a different view. You have fans that have a different view. And everybody's got an opinion, but they care about the game of football. And what makes his job not only a privilege but rewarding is that you're doing something that people care about. And while you have a lot of criticism and a lot of people who second guess some of your decisions, that's part of it because they love the game. And one of the things we realized in the negotiations, and I think Mr. Richardson would say the same thing, is the players did an extraordinary job, not just negotiating for themselves, but for protecting the game of football. They believe in the health and safety issues, of course, but they also believe in the integrity of the game. And we both came away, I think, and I think every owner did, admiring how much we respected the players' viewpoint and how an excellent job they did in representing themselves.